we are not going to talk just about the dead stuff that's holding you back. We're going to talk, sometimes it's the extra. So, we're going to talk about pruning for purpose. I'm Amanda Beth, intuitive healer and wellness coach with Amanda Beth Healing, here for a transformational Tuesday. Today, it's all about releasing what no longer serves you, which I know that's such an overused phrase, and truly aligning with your higher self, not by just cutting away what's dead, but letting go of what distracts you from your full purpose. So, whether you're watching live or on the replay, drop a hello in the comments and tell me one thing you're ready to release or refocus on. So, I'm getting ready to celebrate 10 years as a master gardener. And so this time of year, I think about tending to my tomato plants. And I know that sounds funny. We're talking about healing and growing, but there's all those memes that say that, all we are is a complex plant. We need sunlight, we need water, we need care. And that's what I'd like to kind of bring it back to. And if we think about a tomato plant, because they're pretty basic. If you leave them untouched, they'll grow. They'll grow into big, beautiful leafy vines that look lush. But all that excess actually steals some energy from the plant's ability to produce the fruit. And if you plant a tomato plant, it's because you want the fruit of the tomato. You can call it a vegetable if you want. I'm not going to get into that one. So I have to prune these tomato plants, not just the dead branches and leaves and things that we think about with pruning, but I also spend a fair amount of time pruning all the extra growth. Tomato plants like to throw out little shoots here, there, and everywhere. And when you understand the plants, that there's the main stalk and then any growth that comes out horizontally, that can support fruit. But they like to send other shoots off. And if you don't take care of those shoots, although they can produce fruit, they're not going to be as hardy, and it's not as beneficial. So we're talking about pruning away the things that may look good on the outside, but really are taking away from you. And I learned a whole lot long before I was ever a master gardener. When I had the graphics business, I was doing some informational cards for a local greenhouse. And I think they had like 30 different varieties of tomatoes. And so I was learning about the words about determinate and indeterminate, the germination period and the growing season, and how all of these things. And in my inquisitive, childlike curiosity that I encourage with everything, I asked the greenhouse owner, I said, okay, well, what does this mean? What are these? Yeah, I can typeset all these words and we can get it laminated and it'll look great in your greenhouse, but what do they mean? And I like to have meaning. So looking at, what different tomatoes were. And for the record, an indeterminate plant means that the plant will just keep growing taller and taller and taller and taller unless you prune it off. And when you prune it off, then it sends the growth out to the rest of the plant. A determinate plant grows to a certain height, and that's all the taller it gets. So it's my indeterminate tomatoes that will vine up the side of my dog pen and allow them to drape over the corner and down the next side if I allow them to do that. So understanding what your plant is helps with the expectations that you can have of your plant or of your own being and your higher self. So, in that same way, we fill our lives with things that look good on the outside, but they drain our focus from what really matters. So, let's talk about what that kind of pruning looks like for us. And of course, it's going to take some self inquiring, some looking inside, looking behind that veil. What in your life is lush and beautiful, but it's unfruitful? What are the things that look good on the outside, but they really are not serving your purpose. They're distracting you from your purpose. The things that you pour a whole bunch of energy into that doesn't give you your ROI, your return on investment. You put a lot of oomph into it and you're not getting that back. What are some of those things? What good things that you're doing might actually be in the way of you being your best? So give you a sec to think about that. Share in the comments with your courage what excess you're ready to release. And drop a leaf if you're just ready to prune away some excess and just to kind of shift your thinking. What are some things that I'm doing, that I'm engaging in, that just really aren't serving my higher purpose? So, and I'm going to say the digital world, doom scrolling, those are the things that I would probably say that are taking away from my productivity. Also, looking at how many meetings that I go to, and some of them, they have really good information and they pertain to the day, and some of them, it's just keeping me busy. So, looking at those things, and so what are some things that you're ready to look at? Doesn't mean you have to cut everything out. It just I encourage you to take a look at it. You know, my tomato plants, they cannot prune themselves. They need a gardener, and so do we. We need those reminders. We need teachers. We need community to help us see those things that we can't see and keep us focused on bearing our best fruits, doing what is in our best interest at the end of the day. At the end of the day, what things were beneficial. So that's why I do these lives. I want to be here to offer you some guidance, to help you stay on track, to help you to create a goal and to stick with it. And sometimes when we make our goals, they need adjusted. They need adjusted a little bit so that we can stay in focus with what they are. Because a goal is something down the road, and as we get closer to it, we see sometimes the mechanics of it just don't work out like we thought they would. And so being able to have a coach, have a mentor, have a guide, have a community that helps you to stay on track. So when we prune away what's unnecessary, we're able to free up that energy for what really matters. We make space for the gratitude and being present. So take a deep breath and think of three things you're truly grateful for right now. And just think about it. And they can be the basics. I'm grateful in the northern hemisphere to be sitting in air conditioning. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to stream to you over multiple platforms. I'm grateful for clean water and clean air and the safety of my home. Those are a whole lot of things to be grateful for. So you can share them in the comments if you like. Write them down somewhere. Say them out loud. Make them real. I am grateful for. Make them real. This helps with the energy. So we can move this into doing some healing energy. And as a Theta practitioner, I do Theta healing. And it's important that you say yes to any of the energy shifts that you would like to have. They are energetic. So if you're listening live, say yes out loud. You will get that clearing. When you're watching on the replay, say yes so that you can acknowledge those clearings, those healings, and you'll get that energy work as well. It's Energy is just the coolest thing. So let's do some clearing to help support you as you release some of these distractions. So one of the beliefs is that we can download is that I know how to release What distracts me from my higher purpose? We're going to include there having the discernment to know what is a distraction and what is necessary. Because I think sometimes things come disguised to us as a distraction, and there's something that we really do need to pay attention to. And sometimes there's things that, is it a hurdle? Is it a speed bump? Is it something I need to pay attention to? So let's download the divine definition to have the understanding and the discernment of a true distraction and what is truly in your highest and best good. We can also download that I allow myself to prune away even the beautiful excess that drains my energy. Again, having discernment, what is important and what's fluff, getting away from that fluff. We can download that you channel to your energy into what truly bears fruit. So helping you to have the discernment to know what is really going to give you that return on your investment. That you choose to channel my energy into what truly bears fruit. And I know how to stay focused on my path with grace and ease. So if you'd like this downloads, just say yes in the comments, say yes out loud. You can do hashtag replay if you're catching us on the replay. Okay, let's do that work. Let's also do the forgiveness that allowed us to become so distracted and so invested in all the extras in the fluff that just aren't in our best interest. So we're going to do that forgiveness work to ourselves, to our higher power, God, creator, however that comes for you, and to anyone else who stands in the way and just creates this fluff. And that we're downloading all of that discernment. Mm. Yeah, that one feels like it's a big one because there are so many distractions out there. And so just really, really looking at it and how much of a distraction is it? For me, I used to have this little rule that I would allow myself to only watch 5 reels on Facebook. And that reels were 30 seconds or less. But Facebook, the algorithms, and so much social media, it just keeps you engaged because now I'm finding that you're not consciously going to the next one. It just autoplays, autoplays, autoplays. And some of them are longer and longer and longer. And while I think there's a wealth of information to be had, I just encourage you to fact check your stuff. And if it's not something that pertains to what you need, pass by. Just turn it off. Stop with the distractions. Stop with the fluff. Um, Gives me lots of source for continuing my my membership in the Kooks, Keeper of Odd Knowledge. I love odd facts. I love retaining all those facts and stuff. But does it serve me at the end of the day? Most days not. It's just odd knowledge. You can wow the kids and the grandkids. So if this message resonates with you, leave me a comment or share it with someone else who needs to hear this. Pruning is not just the dead stuff that we have. Pruning is also anything that takes away from our purpose and getting in alignment. So make sure that you're following us so that you don't miss another live. Always catch the replays on social media and on my YouTube channel, which is Amanda Beth at Iowa Salt Pod, because I do also own the salt flotation place here in Southeast Iowa. So let's keep tending to our spiritual gardens together. Oh, and before I go, I want to invite you to come and see me this Saturday, July 19th, at the Holistic Gypsy in Mount Pleasant, Iowa. I'll be signing books and offering mini reads. It's going to be such a beautiful gathering for this spiritual community and to continue with your guidance. I'd love to see you there. Mount Pleasant is also doing their Crazy Days sidewalk sales. So Not only will there be amazing specials at the Holistic Gypsy shop, there will be for the whole town. It's going to be great. And of course, tonight on the Chronic Health Collective, the episode is Freedom After the Fallout, Healing the Hidden Wounds of Trauma. This will be season 1, episode 42. Gosh, we've really done a lot of episodes as the Chronic Health Collective. And this one's a powerful episode that the incredible host Vince Abramo, I'm probably butchering this. My apologies, Vince. She is a peace specialist and brain health trainer. She's sitting down with a remarkable Jessica Hammock, trauma recovery and transformation coach and founder of Vibrant Voice. Together, they're going to go deep into the unseen and offer unspoken wounds of trauma and how to find freedom on the other side. So that's tonight, Tuesday, July 15th, 7 p.m. Central, streaming live on E360 TV, Vitality Network, Facebook Live, LinkedIn Live, and YouTube at Chronic Health Collective. So thanks for sitting in with me. I know it's been a short one this week, but we covered a lot of information, and just think about that. If you'd like to continue with the guidance, you can connect with me through amandabethhealing.com, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and I'm on WhatsApp as well. So just find ways to connect with us. If you're interested in more information about the floating, you can find that at iowasaltpods.com. Thank you.